T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
LadyChann! Fight!
Yo, hey girl, it's LadyChann, rep nonetheless, and welcome to Combox with Shan, members only, boo, in the building. I think this is, let me just, think it's members only. Wait, because you know this, you know these, you get the freeloaders, regulators, mount up. It was a clear white night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume. Hang on, where am I? Back up, because it's on. No, it's not public. It's members only. That's what it is. See. Members only. Oh, there's a few of you in there. Hang on one sec. I had to have a little bite to eat. Damn. Feeling a little lethargic, so let's get it on and popping. Hang on, just checking some just checking something out. Un momento, por favor. Here we go, yo. Yeah, it's on members only. Great stuff. Okay. I'm reloaded. Okay. I'm dying. I'm sleepy. So y'all got to wake me up. Right? Because I ate, and that's what happens when you eat. But I couldn't eat all of it because, man, didn't have the capacity. I had to save some. So, all right, members, shouts out to Modern King Boxing in the building, Jimmy McKenna in the building, Ringside Report Live in the building, King Boxing in the building, Lisa Bales in the building, Stephen T in the building, Mark Niggity Nash in the building. Donald Banks in the building. New Media Today USA Boxing in the building. AJ All Day in the building. In the building. TJ in the building. Haplo Tight in the building. El Primero and El Edificio in the building. Dr. P in the building. Devil Beats in the building. And R to the Left in the building. D-Star Boxing in the building. God Whiteside in the building. Slim Boxing and Commentary in the building. Okay, Garcia. Mia Sports numero uno in the building. Mark in the building. Where are you, Mark? Ricky Ricardo. Mi hermana in the building. ERF Boxing in the building. Don Juan in the building. Ivo in the SDANYA. There you are, Mark. There you are. You are here. I was getting a little worried about you. I know I spoke to you briefly on the other live, but I mean on Twitter. Twitter. He is I and I am him. We are waiting for Ivo. You're in the building. Ivo, please stand up. Click the link, my brother, so we can get this rocking. There you are. Okie dokes. I'm introducing, 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 introducing. The endocrinologist. I probably fucked that up. In the booth is in Ivo in the SDANYA. What up, girl?
Like I said, you know, I get my own theme music. I get my own introduction. I'm truly spoiled.
Get your own language.
There you go.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Yeah, and I remember it. It's like it's locked in and locked on now. I love it. I love the word Ostania. I do. So, Ivan, we are Ivo. Sorry, we are going to chop it up. So I'm going to let you do you and talk about what you study, how we can pertain it to boxing and correlate it to the, to Conor Benn, what athletes can do or not do. So I'm going to blow up the screen and just have it you.
All right, let's get it done.
Let's get it done. All right, shouts out to Ivo in the Buddhism. Here we go.
All right. Yep. It's Ivo. It's your boy.
Ivo. Yeah, go ahead.
So endocrinology, what I'm majoring in is a branch of biology and medicine. So basically, it deals in the endocrine system, its diseases, and hormones. So how can we relate that to boxing? Well, not everyone is a fair boxer. Some people need that extra little boostage. So that's what I major in. So some common ones we have. Typically, what I specialize in is testosterone derivatives. So basically, those are the non-17 alpha alkylated derivatives. That's the clozetable, the cloxotestosterones, and the quinobolones. Then we have the alpha variations, which are bolosterone, formobolone, and a couple of other ones. And then we have the other variations, which most people are familiar with, trenbolone, and, well, we'll get into a couple of them.
Sure.
Give me a popular boxer that recently got popped dirty.
LadyChann. Well, Conor Benn for sure.
All right. So Conor Benn got caught with Clomid, and Clomid, well, Clomid is the afterthought. So I already gave my hypothesis to what I think it was. It was most likely. So let me explain what Clomid is. So Clomid is what fires up your testes to start producing testosterone. It suppresses the estrogen and produces so basically, it's an after cycle drug that'll stay in your system for about a week. It comes up in tablets, et cetera, but typically it's not the performance enhancing drug itself. Stanozolol is what I believe he used. It's an anabolic steroid similar to testosterone, and it's actually stronger than testosterone. It's a derivative of a dihydrogen testosterone subsect. So for bulking, he probably did 100 milligrams a day, or if you wanted to do just for the strength boost, you would do 75 milligrams of it, and you would do it in tandem with Tadeca, some Nolvadex, and some fish oil, which would help with the low testosterone and the liver support. So, just ask some questions away, and I'll see what I can do to help explain details.
Okay. So, with regards to Conor Benn, how long does that stay in the system? This like, what's the procedure how you would take it in tandem with an anabolic steroid?
Okay, so stanzolol, what I think he took, which is marketed as Winstrol, will last in the system for about 3 to 4 days, and the after cycle is HCG, which you would take at 2,000 international units every other day for about 20 days, and then you would take Clomid afterwards, 100 milligrams a day for 30 days as well. So basically, the Clomid is what is, because when you take a lot of steroids, what happens is your body realizes that you have too much of this testosterone derivative, and it's like, yeah, we're going to stop making our own hormones. We're going to just stop it down. We're going to increase the estrogen account. And in contrast, you would take Clomid to boost up the testosterone, make your testes do its job, and have the Novadrex to suppress the estrogen and produce the FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormones, and there's one more hormone which, off the top of my head, I could not tell you, which basically counteracts the anabolic steroid. But typically, you don't take one steroid at a time. You would take, so for example, stanzolol, what I think he took, he would take it in contrast, like in tandem with testosterone, which would help, because if you notice him, you saw he started bulking up. Testosterone is what helps him get the muscle gain and strength, and it's complementary because testosterone isn't harsh and winstrol isn't dramatically toxic. And well, what is the point of taking that steroid? Basically, you stimulate the protein synthesis and promote burning fat in your body. So the Clomid would have only been in his system for 5 to 6 days. Now, I don't know what cycle he took, but knowing that it tends to be in the system for 5 to 6 days,
Right.
I think he just didn't time his cycle properly.
Because, well, he wouldn't have known when VADA was coming to test, would he?
This is true.
Just pot luck that he just was unlucky that he was just on cycling off. He could have been like, how long does it take for the Clomid to leave the body? Again?
About a week, depending on how much he took. A standard cycle, you only take like 100 milligram tablet every other day for like a month.
So he could have been like 5 days in and had just 2 more days till it was out of his system, and then
easily.
Good old VADA.
Which I still don't know why VADA was there when he was under the UCAD system. That's a little confusing.
Because he signed up to the VADA. You have to sign up to VADA for fights.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah. So UCAD tested him, and do you have to specifically test, because UCAD didn't find anything in his system, and they tested before VADA.
So it depends what they're testing for. So for example, how can I? So if they're testing for like if they're testing for an elevated marker, like an estrogen marker or a testosterone marker or like a Clomid marker or a nandrolol marker, I'm unfamiliar with VADA's processing as opposed to UCADA's, like the internal depths. But I do know that when you do a blood work, you tend to do like basically a panel of blood tests for different markers at a time. So it could be just.
It's weird.
It could depend on the cycle. If it was in between Clomid, if you took like an intermittent break in between Clomid for UCADA as opposed to VADA, that could play a role in it.
They said that UCAD would have to specifically test for those markers, and because they don't test specifically for Clomid, that wouldn't have shown. But I don't know about the anabolic. I have no. That would have probably been cycled out due to the Clomid, but because they don't test for Clomid, nothing comes up.
Stanzolol only stays in the body for 4 days. So stanzolol, trenbolone, for example, stanzolol will stay in the body for 3 days. Trenbolone, a pretty popular one in weight building, only stays in the body for 3 days as well. Clenbuterol stays a little bit longer, but clenbuterol is a weight drug, but like weight losing drug, but it stays in the system for a week. So like, and for example, the longest one that I remember who got caught was Tyson Fury for nandrolone. That stays in your body for a week and a half. So yeah, it depends on the derivative. So because like the non-alpha alkylated derivatives, they tend to go out quicker than the alkylated ones. So
What's
it
those?
Just the chemical structure of the hormone, basically the positioning of the 17 alpha derivative.
Okay, and how are all of these drugs? How are they ingested? Like orally, patches, intravenously,
take a pick. All of the above.
All of them, isn't they?
All of the above. So like a basic beginner stanzal cycle, like I said, that's only like 100 milligrams per day, and that's for bulking. Like if you want to do cutting, if you want to like cut it out of your system, so typically you want there are stages to a cycle. Like in the beginning, you take a little more to bulk up, then you decrease it just for strength gain, then you cycle it off for cutting, which is like that's when you do like the 25 milligrams. So as you cycle it out, like so. From my experience, most of the ones I've seen for like bodybuilders can do intravenous, which will be more like it'll be faster acting because you put it directly in the source as opposed to a tablet. But tablets are good for a more durated, like an extended period of time, from personal experience, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the Clomid and the Novadax, like what they'll take afterwards, that isn't really a steroid. It just tries to hide the steroid.
Isn't that then detected?
The Clomid is detected. I mean, if you
The thing hiding the other thing that you just said.
Yeah, the Clomid and the Novadax. Well,
yeah, Novadax.
In an ideal world, he would have cycled off of the Novadax and the Clomid, and then nothing would have happened, and you would have been like, oh yeah, he's a clean individual. But it just so happened that he did not cycle properly. If he took the Clomid orally, it could have been in his system a little longer. If he took it just depends on what method he used. So yeah, I mean, like, and like, I know he made this really cool, funny thing. He said, "Oh yeah, he got it from his girl after I think he said he kissed her lips or something." And I was like, "Yeah, that's not how this works. Unless her lip is injected it into your body,
then that can't happen." And what are the side effects, or what could go wrong whilst taking these under not because is this, even though he's taking this for like cheating reasons, is this still done under a medic?
Oh, dude, there's so much you can go wrong. You can have worsening acne, difficulty sleeping, headaches, a change in sex desire. Typically, steroid patients have a dip in testosterone that they can't get it up in the morning. You know what I mean? You can get nausea, vomiting, changes in skin color, ankle swelling. So much crap can happen. It just depends on like how you. It depends on how, because a lot of this is genetics. It depends how you're genetically predisposed to the hormone.
Right.
I've seen people that took like a 25 milligram cycle, like to cut weight of Winstrol, and they just broke out in a huge swarm of acne. And then I seen these bodybuilders take like 150, 200 milligrams of it per day for bulking, and they look like you wouldn't be able to tell they're dirty.
Really? So with these bodybuilders and stuff like this, is this under your doctorate, or is this just under your personal?
I work more towards hormonal disorders like hyperthyroidism, where your body doesn't secrete enough.
Okay, so then you do see. So do you see bodybuilders come in regarding that, or is that? Just...
Oh, dude, we saw a bodybuilder come in less than a year ago when I was working under my teacher at the time. He due to the fact that he, like, here's the thing people misunderstand: hormones impact the rest of your body. So he come in with an inflamed liver as a result of just too much steroids. It depends. It depends on like for example, there's a reason why most bodybuilders are not long for this world. Like a lot of them, like our bodies don't tend, like, if you want to look like not even all of it, like the current Mr. Olympias, you see how jacked they are. Look at them. Look at their freaking like organs, man.
Don't they know that this is just pointless in doing? Is it just
there's a, I'm sure there's a psychological reason in this somewhere for it. Most likely, I would imagine it's from what I heard from a couple of bodybuilders, like they do it because they have some form of inferiority complex. But this is a couple. This is not all of them. This is just from the ones I've seen a couple of.
And with like people like Roy Jones Jr., do you know what he was pop dirty for?
If I remember correctly, he was with an androstenedione, which is basically an estrogen and testosterone producer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had the archaic, like, He had the archaic version of it. Like, we have way better ones nowadays.
So he was blatantly doing that purposely for
You
cheating.
could, dude, 200 milligrams of it a day, you could get over-the-counter drugs. Just over-the-counter, go to your local pharmacy, pop it up for like $20 at the time, and that's it.
And that would have enhanced his performance. In what
increase in testosterone would increase in muscles and protein synthesis, and basically you would get jacked, and you would see a visible strength increase. So one of the common ones that I see nowadays, the nandrolone, which is really popular in both. Well, it's pretty popular in both bodybuilding and apparently it's in rabid boars in UK. Did not know that, but you know.
I don't eat pork, so I have no
So nandrolone is called decadurabolin, which is basically it's an anchor steroid, and you use it as the base steroid in the stack. So
right.
Without it, so basically what you do is without it, the cycle is like your steroid cycle is not as effective. It's the foundation of the lean muscle growth, and it's a first generation anabolic steroid, which basically means it has low androgenic side effects, which basically means like man boobs, as it's commonly called. What is it? So exactly, what does it do? Well, the decadurabolin, which is pretty I'm just going to call it nandrolone for layman's terms. Yeah. It stimulates the production of insulin, the insulin-like growth factor 1, and that basically allows the body to retain more nitrogen and boost the production of red blood cells produced. So in layman terms, basically it results in huge increase of muscle mass and strength. The decanoate ester, which slows the release of the steroid down, means that it trickles into your system but it's slow, so it'll trickle in over a 2-week period. And it allows for just 1 injection per week, and then you let it run for almost 16 weeks with very little risk to your body. Now, I know it's also used for collagen synthesis and pain relieving effects, but mostly it's used for the addition of strength. From my experience, what I've seen, it's a mass building anchor with TRT, which is a testosterone replacement therapy. You would take it at 400 milligrams a week, and you could do a low dose of testosterone with it, and that would increase the deca dose to like 600 and 700 milligrams a week. And in contrast, when you want to cut it out of your system, you would do 300 milligrams a week, and eventually you just completely cycle it out, get the effects of it, you get your muscle mass, you get your strength, and you would lose it out of your system. So when you test in your blood markers, you're clean.
And then once you get into the ring,
in the ring, you hit like a truck, and you're technically clean.
So would this look like that? These kind of
Round 1, fight.